But you also hear the
All right, welcome to Wyll and his continued journeys throughout the game with the hopes of defeating the Netherbrain. This is, I think, stream 11 or something that we go with this. There was a minor hiccup in my progression here, so basically what you see is in fact not Wyll number 60, but in fact Wyll number I'm amiss to say Wyll number 67. The problem was that I decided to off stream try to just sell a couple of things and just explore just a little bit of the Rivington map, which is all well and good. And what happened in this attempt to just quickly scour out the map and just get ready for the next streaming session was that I, not accidentally, but deliberately pretty much, went down in the area with Oren and with the trap, the lightning trap and the cloud down there. So what happened was that I was at a very, and I didn't catch this on video obviously, but I was at a very long range from the actual trap. There are tripwires down there. And so what I did was I went in and I, at a very long range, decided to Eldritch Blast the trap to disable the trap. However, this trap does not attack the person who is tripping on the tripwire, which, and I know this is a video game, but in the real world, with a tripwire, the person who steps onto the tripwire or who accidentally trips the wire is being attacked. Hello, Critique. I'm just explaining something pretty embarrassing before I go into any gameplay here. And thanks for showing up. I hope the sound is going well, is working. But however, so what I did was, and I'm just so sad I didn't get this on video. I felt like this would be like the ultimate short video, to be fair. So what happens is that I Eldritch Blast the tripwire down there. And I'm going to be talking about this today as well. So I shoot the tripwire. And from what I would say, like in European terms or measurements, that would be maybe 30 meters away, a chain lightning beam hits me for, I don't know, 100 damage or something. It's like, it's two. It's actually, it's not even just one chain lightning. It's the chain lightning from the trap, which just hits me from like, I don't know, several screens away. It feels like, and then the statue also sends a chain lightning, and both of those are worth, I think it's 10d8 points of damage without any saves. And obviously, I wasn't saving any. I wasn't wearing my ring of lightning protection or anything else that I could have used, because I was assuming that from the range I would be safe. But what happened was that my character was instantaneously roasted for, I think, 120 damage, instantaneously killing me, even with my armor of Agathis and everything on there. So because I want the playthrough to still be in the difficulty honor mode, I'm not interested in playing on a scuffed game that is not that's not intact. I went back and replayed the mother effing game from the get go, right? So that also results, and it's impossible to replay a game in a way that it's absolutely the same. You will always do something different. So in Act 2, there is a famous trap in the Gauntlet of Shar that can accidentally you can accidentally fall through the trap and die when you try to go to the I forget the word, the Shadowfell. There's an elevator there. So what I always do is I go and I collect some. In this case, I think it's Noble Kurtz, like one of the followers from the Skelly guy from Withers, just to be sure that in case my character falls through the elevator, I can kind of recover the game, if that makes sense. Because losing a solo character in that particular, and I have no idea what causes this, is not something that I'm particularly interested in. And that happened, so my character died down there. I couldn't bring it back, and I had to kill it, and it was a big shit show. But what ended up happening was that I brought back my character, obviously, and then I continued the game. But like in this case, let me just the consequence of this was that I lost my buff from the Loviathar buff from Abdurak in Act 1, which means that right now I only have the Githzerai Might Barrier, and then I have the Sweet Stone features from the statue that I prior stream, because I had to go back and see what did I do in Rivington, just to be able to pick it up from there. And then I went back into that and I saw, I went and bought the statue. I went and killed the monk, the sisters, the zombies below the temple, and I killed the doppelgangers below the well. So that was basically it, meaning that the map is now with all kinds of pins in it so that I know what to do now, and also talking to the Mind Flayer, getting the quest there, basically ready for play. So today I assume I will be walking around Rivington and doing a couple of things in Rivington, basically experience point stuff and things like that. And it's at this point I'm going towards level 12. That's the idea. And then I'm going to be going for the final bosses. I haven't made up my mind yet about how many I'll do. I'm still not sure about Cazador. I will be going for Raphael, like without abuse. I'm going to fight him in his room, and of course Orin and everything else. So that's going to happen. I don't know about Cazador just yet. I'll have to think about that. I am not even sure. Critique that I was in fact vulnerable to lightning damage at that point. So I can't say for sure, but perhaps I was. I because things, when basically what happens is that it feels a little bit like when you die to stuff like that. To me, at least, it feels a little bit like BS. Like it feels BS. Like if I go in and I do something wrong and I fail, and it's like an obvious problem on my part, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. But dying to stuff like that is bullshit to me. But like it happened, so I replayed the game. And today is a family stream, meaning that I won't be streaming for long, and there will be a little bit of interruptions on the fly, but everything will be explained. And I have a little 8 month or 9 months year old baby here who's a little bit sick and wants to pull the microphone. So that's that. But I will be going through Rivington and doing stuff in just a moment. Okay, let's check out. So basically, in the beginning of Act 3, in my opinion, some of the basic encounters in Wormington Rivington, sorry, is a great place to start. Another strategy can be to gain access to the lower city as quickly as possible to get access to the end game items from vendors and the various buffs that you can get in there. So I'll probably be doing a little bit of both. I'll be clearing out stuff here in this area, and then going into Rivington, and probably this trap down here. I need to carefully think. Like I was even thinking, does sending in a minion, for instance, let's say that you send in like an imp or something else, is that going to chain lightning the imp and you as well? Is the fact that you're present in the area alone make you susceptible to the chain lightning? I'm probably going to science that out with the ring and all kinds of temporary hit points or something, as much as I can muster, to see if that is really a thing, because I was dumbstruck when that happened. That was the most crazy thing I've experienced in terms of traps in this game at all. I know the chain lightning is dangerous, but that felt very, very weird. Okay, let's begin. Probably just heading down here to Rivington and going in and dealing with the squatters is a great place to start. So we'll be buffing up Wyll here, and then I'll quickly reiterate what Will's stats are, what the idea with the character is, and what we are doing. Just as a service to whoever is crazy enough to be watching this later on YouTube. Alright, let's see. So yeah, the great thing about having the Earth Elemental as well is that I get those 2 spell slots out of the way with the Armor of Agathis and the Earth Elemental, which both requires, or the Elemental, which both require spell slots, and then I can safely short rest and recover the spell slots. That's really, really something I like. I'm also going to be changing the Fiendish Resilience, because I think these guys, there is some slashing, and then I actually think that there is a bit of piercing, if I'm not mistaken. So I will be making myself resistant to piercing damage. And I have all of my minions up outside of the skeleton, which I don't think I need. These are not that. I want the skeleton just for good measure. Let me just get a skeleton. Just for good measure. And then I'll be going back and just quickly talking about what it is the idea with this character is. And as you can see, the illithid powers are now... Also, there was a bug in patch 7, which I think some people might have come across. I came across this very early because I had to restart. And the bug, one of the bugs, or many bugs, one of the bugs is that in the beginning of the game, if you pick up, before you do your first long rest in particular, if you pick up illithid powers, let's say that you pick up the illithid power from the grove, you pick up the illithid power from the gold dwarf outside of the grove, you pick up the illithid tadpole from priestess god, any other tadpoles which you acquire as items, as quest items, before you get the long rest that enables you to use these tadpoles. You can put them in a container. And this is something I've always done, like fully without thinking about it. I put them in my main stash container here, and then they sit there. Once you get access to tadpoles, first of all, you get a free tadpole straight up from just enabling the whole thing. Like in the long rest, you get like a free tadpole to use, and then you get a number of extra tadpoles that you can just apply. The counter up here just goes up, and then later on I found out I had I think that was 3 tadpoles in samples, in glass samples, sitting in my inventory, and then double clicking those gave me more tadpoles. So suddenly, like, my brain was just filled way ahead of time. And I think this is a bug that's like a byproduct of what Larian has done in patch 7. So, and I also saw So Black is dealing with this as well. So like, you get extra tadpoles, and like, you can choose not to use them or choose to use them. It's almost the same result at the end of Act 2 anyway, but at the beginning of the game, you can just make that judgment if you want to use those or not. But you do get extra tadpoles in patch 7 until they decide to fix it. Let me just see. And now I don't know where to find a corpse. I think there's a corpse in... Oh yeah, now I remember where I found the corpses. Okay. This is just for good measure. If you want to run it safe, just using all of the available resources that you have is always the choice for me. And generally, any kind of summons that you can kind of muster up and bring into your coder is just a huge boon. Summons are very, very, very strong, like this game. Let's just go and see. So I'm actually looking a little bit forward to playing character without summons at some point, where it's a whole different game, for sure. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay. Hopping back to Rivington, and now I am presenting the character and heading into the first encounter here. Right. So this is Wyll. He's currently level 10, Fiend Warlock with 2 feats. 1 feat is a stamina increase. The reason why the number is uneven at this point is because there's also a hack hair in there. So I begin at 16, go to each 18, get the hack hair. Because then at the Mirror of Loss in Lower City, that number is going to get to 22, because there's a +1 charisma, as well as a general stat increase to whatever, +2. So that's going to set me to 22, and that's going to be extremely strong for the Eldritch Blasting Warlock. The other feat that I chose at level 8 is the Warcaster feat, which I want because any kind of concentration spell that I like to throw needs to stay there. And in particular, without any scrolls, the value of the spell slots is just too expensive to F up. So any kind of concentration, also because I like to use the haste spell, which is a byproduct of Wyll's subclass feature, which is Pact of the Tome. So I like Pact of the Tome because of the haste spell in particular, and I like the Animate Dead spell as well. It's a very, very nice thing. So all those things combined makes me like the Pact of the Tome a lot. Arguably the Pact of the Blade is better because it's more versatile, but that is generally a thing that is up to the individual person. So that is the 2 feats that I chose so far. The 3rd feat probably will be Dual Wielder, because the options for weapons is just so strong. I think that's it for the choices. So, Origin Wyll, the Fiend, Pact of the Blade, pretty much. Level 10, just got past Miracle here, and the monks, and then we'll be dealing with Rivington. All of the pins are, of course, things that I want to do, but right now I just want to get some experience and try to get to level 12, basically. So we're going to head in here with, let me see, Knife of the Undermountain King, Sentinel Shield. I think that is that's all well and good, and all of my summons. The plan is to get the squatters to leave, to just get him to give me the certificate to go into Lower City.
I'm a very magnanimous. Wouldn't you be on an old family motto?
Right.
I see you. The Guild, a loose coalition unifying every criminal outfit in the city under one collective rule, from cut purses to contract killers.
Just a little
Right, they want money. I'm just going to pay them just to see what happens. I don't really care. We get XP straight up, and we don't even have to fight them. Oh well.
See, those animals are out of the picture. I don't
Get 100 gold, and he's leaving. That was a very quick solution to this. The house is all yours, so let's just go and see if Wyll has to accidentally kill somebody, or if he's going to give me...
Look, I really don't have... Thank you.
Oh, okay, so we need to pressure him a little bit. So what we're going to do is, I could kill him straight up. That wouldn't mean anything. But we're going to just go and solve, because there's a little bit of a mystery here. So Arthur has a little bit of a project going on here, where we're going to head into his cellar here. I like it how he doesn't seem to bother with us just walking around in his house, which is great. And right down here we could potentially die, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and equip. I'm going to play this a little bit safe. I've seen people die down here, so this is not what I intend to do. Going to add a bit of dexterity into this whole thing. So I'll just be disarming a couple of firework pieces here. Everything is just rigged for whatever reason. not going to spend any time looting because we don't care. But I do want to just go and trigger some of the traps. Oh, those. Probably, I mean, I don't think that the damage down there is that bad, and you can always also just wear, I think, a little bit of fire resistance, and I think you're going to be fine. But, like, I just want to see something real quick. Oh, I can move the... I can move the chest. Okay, that's funny. Let me just do that. The chest is... Okay. Is the chest now out of reach? Okay. This is already getting weird. Let me just trip some more traps. Okay.
Where am I needed?
Right. There was a bit of damage there.
Checking things out.
And now I'm like... Can we... Maybe we can shoot it down? Fuck. That worked. This is it's a very, very weird place, this.
As one does.
Here is the proof. So this, in this chest just below his house, is a proof that he's doing bad things. So let us just read the letter and confront him. Suspicious toys. And in a moment I'm going to be a little bit at a loss, because once you threaten him and you find the proof...
You again. They're extremely precious. And you what?
Oh, wait. Alright, so this was the aggressive solution. Which I think has the exact same result as doing it the other way. Because as far as I know, I just get the invitation there. Okay. So that was kind of redundant. Alright. Right. I don't think this has any consequence, honestly. Let us just head into the next bit of XP here. Don't want to be bothering with the investigation at this point. We'll just be going and making sure that the animal cruelty is taken care of.
Time for a chat.
If you're a customer, good. If you're a customer, please keep the shop. Please keep bothering me.
All right, interesting. So now the... Okay. Let's go in here real quick. This is where the Iron Hand gnomes are hanging out. Not budging. Need to go in through the cave system. Right. So I think taking the circus encounter might be the right way to go here, which we will. To get that out of the way and get the Dribbles quest. One of the few items that I like to have on my Eldritch Blaster, or probably any caster in this game, is the gloves that you get from the quest with Dribbles. You need to collect, I think it's 6 or 8 pieces of clown parts from the Rivington area and the lower city area, and it's just a ton of XP, of course, but also a very nice glove that's going to basically be like great weapon fighting for Eldritch Blasting. So that's like 3 times a lot of extra damage. Okay, let's just interact with the animals real quick.
Beast ignores you.
To see if we can't get it to relax a little bit.
She will attack and kill at the first opportunity. The bars look sturdy.
Kill them all, kitty. Interesting. Let's talk to them.
Bared the creature as he growls a clear.
I get this feeling like if I say kill them all, I'm going to turn Rivington hostile, so that's not going to happen. And this encounter is not very hard. So let's just engage and talk to Dribbles here.
Buddy the dog is my very best friend. Do you know why? Why? Because with him, anything is possible. Way! Did you hear about the Scarecrow who lost a fight? He got the stuffing kicked out of him. Way! Oh, you're all such good friends. I've had a wonderful time, but I have to go. Oh, well, if you insist. How about a magic trick? But first, I need a volunteer with nerves of steel and the heart of a lion. Who will it be? Who?
A prickling hum runs through your very being. Your patron does not trust this clown.
And suddenly the patron comes into play. You haven't heard anything about Will's patron. Well, we've heard some, but
come on up.
I mean, I guess it's Mesora, right? Okay, this is a trick. Oh. No, that's... Okay.
Your patron's true sight does not reveal any simple glamours or illusions at play. It does, however, pick up something else. The clown's eyes are brimming with evil intent.
Come now! Don't be a cowardly Connie! Perhaps you need a little encouragement! Now! Up! Double sharp! Or poor Buddy here might think you don't like him. Have I only mice in the audience? Or does someone here know the meaning of courage? I'll do it! Finally! Someone with steel in their spine! Come on up! Before we begin, I owe you all a most humble apology. This wasn't how the show was supposed to go. I chose you. Yet you refuse me. So know that this is all your fault.
Okay. So Quentin. Okay, now Shadow Whiskers is angry. Okay, so hostile. Okay, so the unfortunate situation caused Quentin to die immediately, and he was prone and got piercing damage. Anyway, let's try to see if we can't solve this situation real quick. So I'll be casting. Or will I be doing the Mind Sanctuary? That is the question. Probably I'll be starting with the Mind Sanctuary. And in my opinion, the dogs are some of the more dangerous enemies to face. Let us finish off the dog first. Oh, that didn't happen. Go for some of the friends. Comes the punchline. And the innocents are dying. Wow. Oh, wait, that was... Oh, no. Oh, well. Did he go into the haste? No, he didn't go into the haste, so... Oh, we don't get an extra action. Do I need to go out and in, or... Oh, wait. Let's see. Do want the dog out of the game. Oh wait, there is also leaving takes away all of the. Okay, I am just a complete Mind Sanctuary newbie here. I think everything just takes a weird power jump. Oh, he gets an extra action. Let's see if we can't get him to go prone. We could, but the balance with the way that that the illicit powers and everything works in Act 3 is something that seems a little bit unhinged to me. Oh, that was... There we go. It immediately gets an attack. Let's just go for Riddles the Clown here. Like it how they don't go for that. Oh yeah, he does. Okay, then he goes in with them, but he doesn't use it. I'm not complaining, just wondering. don't want to hit anybody who's not hostile, I think. Doesn't deal any damage, no mind. Let's just shoot and hope. Okay. Even going into a lot of these encounters with practically no preparation, you're still going to do well, because there are so many like NPCs everywhere. They're not targeting you very aggressively, and the attacks that, in my opinion at least, the attacks that these guys do is not particularly dangerous. I can think of a couple of other encounters that are more dangerous than these encounters in the early game, at least in Act 3. It's fairly simple. There we go. 1 gazillion experience points. And a lot of dead civilians, which we can't loot.
Easy enough.
Even Quentin, the poor guy. We would have to commit a little bit more murder in order to loot safely. But I don't think any of these NPCs have anything of value. I'm just going to loot them just for the funsies, and then we'll move on. The doppelganger who was impersonating, was that Bitey Buddy? I forget who the doppelganger impersonating Dribbles was, but we're just going to go and talk to the owner, Lucretius, about this, because she's not too happy.
I need him back.
Found part of Dribbles, so she just wants me to go and collect Dribbles, which of course we'll do. Find more parts. Right. So that's a quest we will do, because the reward for those is actually pretty decent. So we're just going to go into talk to this guy over here. He's also up to some shady business, and we're just going to expose him. Let's see. Forget. I think you need to go and steal from him. So that's just going to be the opening here. Hi, Ginger. Finally, we're back on track with this most horribly cursed run. Right, so I'm just going to be looting just a tad bit of stuff here. Let's see. Graceful cloth for advantage. And then we'll loot his... I don't think you need to go in and do anything here. I think you just... Is this even safe? I forget what he's going to do if he catches you. So...
They won't see me coming.
9. Can I do anything to increase those odds? Does it count the advantage? I have no idea what happens if... Let me just quickly play the game once here. So... Going to play this game. 500 gold. Yes, that's fine. You rigged the spin. Okay, so he wants to fight. So I actually... I'm not going to drink this. Okay, let's try it out. I think it's going to be fine. And then
you failed to win the... You thief! You cheated!
yes, time for jackpot. And I feel pretty comfortable. I feel pretty comfortable with this whole thing with the dinosaurs, because Wyll is splashing them, and whatever control that they have is not going to be very strong. I think they're doing piercing damage, so I'm just going to keep that. I'm just going to keep that resistance for now. to me, this is, I mean, obviously there can be situations, I haven't run into that just yet, but this just feels like one of those, you know, Cobalt, the Crash Cobalt experience groups where you just go in and you get a lot of free XP. Maybe there could be some problems with some of the chasms and whatnot where you can be thrown off. I have no idea, but this generally just feels a little bit like that to me.
Might will prevail.
A little bit like free farm. Let's go. Just need to make sure that I get all of them. Nobody here. So many good rewards in Act 3. So many good items that you can get from quests, but so few of them relate to this warlock build, unfortunately. I'm just waltzing around. I'm sure that there's some kind of instant death mechanic somewhere that I am not familiar with. But there is the boss. So let's go and kill this guy down here. I think the real reward is the Narilna, the weapon that you can throw that's just unbelievably strong in this game. But that is not too relevant for me. Oh, that was a miss. Good job. Oh, there's another one up here, right? It hasn't seen me just yet. Okay, let's just keep it that way. I think this one actually manages to do its mechanic once. Here we go. Oh, there it is. There's the pounce. That was it. And the bite. Boom. That's it. Double bite. And it's dealing piercing damage, which even when they get those attacks in are halved. So that's that. So I mean, yes, they deal damage. Yes, you can die. You can die anywhere in this game if you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, and there's a teeny tiny thing that you just didn't know. Then you can go back to the Nautiloid if you like to play this type of game. But knowledge is definitely king for sure. Do we still have? Just go into armor packet with this. And we're going to commit to a long rest in a second. Show a short rest to get rid of the debuffs, the bleed debuffs that can turn into diseases and whatnot. No, thank you. I forget if I need to quickly loot, because I forget if there is some kind of reward or some kind of loot here up here. I believe there is some item that I just forgot about. No, not from her. The skeleton, perhaps. Journey through the jungle. I'm a little bit like, is this a meme? It's like a Congo meme, something. I forget the name of the book about the guy. Heart of Darkness, that's the one. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a Heart of Darkness meme. Let's just go and check this. That's civilian. I don't think that there are any of these guys that have anything remotely valuable on them. But and no loot from the dinosaurs. Okay, let's head into the portal. fly. Just hoping I'm not hitting a wall. There's a ring upstairs. Let's go and collect. I knew there was something somewhere, which I found earlier in another playthrough. I just didn't forget. But let's just go and check that out. And the Nirolna, of course, is game breaking. And I even forgot to put on the right armor, which is why they didn't die so easily. So what you're saying, Critique, is that there is a ring up here. Let's go and find that then. Because I did feel like there was something up there that I didn't collect. So somewhere over the rainbow. Get that ring. No. Is it in the ribcage? No. Is it up here? In the backpack? Band of Mystic Scoundrel. Yeah, roger. There was a slightly relevant item hidden somewhere. This is one of the most game-breaking items in the entire game. So, without spending too much time talking about that, there are so many videos out there that's going to help you out with the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel. It's not relevant to me because I'm not using any type of arcane acuity to build up or lower enemy resistances to the stuff that I'm doing and increase my chance of succeeding my control spells and whatnot. I'm just blasting things to death. So I don't need the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel. I hope they come back with me. I mean, one thing that could be funny. One thing that could be funny is that, and since I don't have that at the moment, but I could switch one of my more or less useless spells to command, for instance, and then I could equip. Did I just send back the? No, here it is. So after hitting a creature with a melee attack, which is with a weapon attack, so obviously that's. That would have to be like my main hand hand crossbow. Already there is the first problem, right? Because attacking things with my main hand, using a main hand action to attack sucks. But like if I had a reasonable DC, then I could kind of make sure that resisting some of the control spells that I was doing, that could be potentially valuable. An instance of this could be, let's say, the Raphael fight. I could use the command spell, which is the level 1 spell that the Warlock is forced to upcast to level 5, which is going to increase the amount of targets that I can command with, I think it's 5 targets at level 5, if I'm not mistaken. So that means that I could attack with my main hand to enable the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel. But it has to be a main hand attack, because my bonus action is tied to my offhand. So I can't use my offhand. That would be very nice if that was a possibility. So I have to do kind of a weapon attack with my main hand, and then the bonus action could be used for an enchantment spell. And if I'm not mistaken, the command spell is an enchantment spell. And if it's not, then it's absolutely worthless. But the whole idea is that you use your bonus action to cast an enchantment spell that then controls the targets that you are fighting. So it kind of enables your bonus action to be very strong. But you have to have a setup, for instance, with a sword bard that has very high. Hello, Carly. A sword bard, for instance, which is one of the most popular ways to break the game, is that you take a sword bard which has a lot of attacks because it's a semi-martial class, and you shoot a lot of targets. Let's say you use the arrow of many targets, it's going to bounce around. And then you use the Helm of Arcane Acuity, which is acquired from Act 2 in the Mason's Guild, and the Ring of the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel. And so what happens is that you shoot a target with an arrow of many targets, and it's going to count as if you attacked a number of targets. And you can do that twice, and it's going to, with the Helm of the Arcane Acuity, it's going to make your difficulty class of whatever control spell that you then cast using the ring that I just acquired by a lot. Basically meaning that all of the targets or the spell that you're trying to cast is going to succeed. So it basically means like fighting the Raphael is a very, very popular video online on YouTube, is that that you shoot the champions that you're fighting in the Raphael fight, and you cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on Raphael, making him prone for 10 turns. He cannot succeed the saving throw, I think, unless he rolls a critical success or something. So it's just, that's the kind of gimmicky gameplay that you can get out of the Helm of Arcane Acuity, and the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel then propels that gameplay. But I can't see how Wyll can do this in a meaningful way. If you're a Pact of the Blade Warlock, then perhaps with extra speed or haste or something else, with a speed potion, you can kind of build up that momentum using a main hand, I'm guessing, and then casting some kind of enchantment control spell. But I forget which of the Warlock's available spells is in fact enchantment spells. So it's already getting way too complicated. I'm setting it back to camp and continue blasting. All right, where are we going? We are done with this. We're done with this. We're done with this. We're done with dribbles. Just going to go and gloat. I don't even know if you can fight this guy, and if so, what kind of a boss fight that would be. I think has a lot of hit points. The Jenny is a very. How did you draw? I want the jackpot.
That is reward enough. Now be gone.
And I like it how this guy is immensely powerful, and the reward, or rather, what he gave me is this. Like this is the reward in his opinion of this. A mage hand for 10 turns. All right. Well, thank you, Akabi. I beg to disagree. I don't think that this was at all very valuable. All right, let's move on. All right, I'm just looking forward to Act 3 or to Lower City so that I can beeline those interesting things. And we promised the Mind Flayer to give him a corpse. I think that gives approximately the same XP as killing it. And I don't need any more tadpoles, so I don't really care. But I am just going to complete the quest using the body of Brilgor. Oh, this is probably no longer a body. Jesus.
What have we here?
Because there is some kind of narrative once you resurrect the Mind Flayer. It becomes sentient or something, and then it kind of interacts with the world in a funny way. I saw that online, so I'm just going to go and get myself a corpse to give to the Mind Flayer, just for the fun of it. Let's see. We done everything else. I do need to go and collect the letter from the creature on the cat thingy on the roof. And then let's just go and do that. Almost done with this stuff. We'll fly to the roof here. The quest is by the post office to talk to this creature, and I think without speak to animals, just
Tresson seems a little tense.
do a little performance here. Booga booga. And to my knowledge, if you're not, I mean, I think you can kill it and maybe it drops something, but to my knowledge, anything down here? Why is... Oh, yeah, okay, done. To my knowledge, it is only Gale that has something specifically tied to Tara, to the cat, the Tressum that I just talked to. And I think that can kind of influence. That can kind of he gets a reward for that. Let's just quickly get this over with. These are the animal cruelty guys. Yes. Very low, very deep voice. This guy, very low voice.
And you, what do you? He's a good dog.
He's a good dog. Whistle for scratch.
This dog is property of Sword Coast Couriers. I'll take him off your hands now. I can do whatever I please.
Right,
He's my
so
dog.
let's just...
Now get out. This is a private yard.
Just going to persuade her. With a 39 roll.
Shut your mouth, Dringo.
I'm sorry, Dingo.
Last warning.
We're going to do a deception here. Yeah. Plus... Thank you. Gortash is not fond of this stuff. Goodbye, lady. Dingo's happy. Everybody's happy. Scratch is happy. Okay. And the letters to the postmaster. I am going to find a corpse. I think I need to go and collect one of the corpses from the well or from the doppelganger fight there. Let's just get this over with.
I suppose you've stumbled.
Is this the letter? It was. Thank you. And like in a no loot scenario, these quests. Oh, you can't even collect the letters. Yeah, so the no loot rule set is going to be very interesting. How are you going to get money? Do we just go and kill the mind flayer? I want to be persistent. I am going to go and give him a body. I am going to get him a body for sure. And then I also realized that, like, the whole thing about looting is something at some point. I have no clue what the no loot rule said, what it does to the letters. But what I'm assuming is that it's everything that you can pick up. Oh right, you can read them, you can interact with them. Probably you can interact with the letters. Yeah. Got it. So, but I don't know if I can just read the letter.
The boss is.
I'm kind of assuming that I can't return the letter without actually looting it. I forget what's going on down here. I know that Tolla has, like, there are these. There is this all of the explosives, and Volbren is down here planning the destruction of something in Baldur's Gate, but let's talk to Barkus.
Wolbrin.
Yeah, he has something planned, so it's pretty dangerous.
Good to see.
Okay, yeah, there's persuasion there. Yeah, we're promising to ally Gortash.
Neither was Moonrise. Get the bomb.
Get the bomb.
The adults are talking.
Just give me the bomb. Give me the bomb. Okay. Alright, and we end up in the smithy room here. There is so much clutter in Act 3, like so much clutter, like, you know, things everywhere, things that you could potentially loot and sell. Interact with, and everything all around that it just absolutely bloated. Oh, you can still steal from Barkus in Act 3. I didn't know that. That's useful. That's pretty useful. Okay, I'm going to enter the place to get a corpse in the Open Hand Temple. Let's just get the corpse. I am going to just see what the mind flare, what happens there. What that does. Probably does very little outside of a bit of RP. I did find something pretty interesting that I didn't know existed, and maybe you guys, if you're still following those of you who are, can tell me if this is something which is inherently new or not really new. So let me just go to the place. So down here in the temple. Can we even go down? Cannot find path. Yeah, here we go. The chests down here, one of them contains information pertaining to Father Lorgan, who was died, who's the murdered person, and obviously everybody blames that these are the confessions that you can read from this chest, and it's in I think in a hidden chamber in the chest or something, and that's part of the open hand murders investigation that you can do in Rivington. But as a piece of one of the chests there contains something that I never saw before. So let me just go and locate that real quick. Was a glove? Yeah, these. No, wait, that wasn't them. Yeah. The Seraphic Pugilist gloves. Angelic Knuckles, your unarmed attacks deals additional 1d4 radiant damage. And then a level 4 guiding bolt to boot. And I never saw these before. Obviously these are probably only usable by a monk, I'm assuming. But I mean, radiant damage is of course very strong in many situations. But when would you ever trade your main action as a monk for a guiding bolt? I never saw these before. Maybe I don't go into those chests anymore, but I never saw them before. And they're definitely fun for the radiant damage. That's a funny thing. But like the guiding bolt, would you trade a main action for 7d6 of radiant damage? If the guiding bolt hits. And that's based on your wisdom as a monk. So that's kind of useful, right? If you play with wisdom, obviously. So if your guiding bolt hits and you debuff the target, you get a bonus action to do the bonus action attack, the melee one. And I can see the relevance of all of those hits are guaranteed hits. Maybe. But like, I found it and I was like, I've never seen that item before. Alright. So we're heading into the kitchen now to get our corpse finally. And this is obviously pretty much a waste of time, but like I just wanted to see what happens with the Mind Flayer. And guys, you can like NPCs that you can interact maybe like the glove slot for me is so contested that I think if I could, I would be wearing 5 gloves for my warlock at this point. But yeah, guiding bolt is definitely not worthless for sure. Like for me it's not very strong because my main action is just stupidly good. Let's see. So I need to find somebody who's not a doppelganger, I'm guessing. So this is a high elf. Yeah. So if I could be wearing like all the gloves that I wanted, of course I would want the Fleet Fingers. I would also want the gloves of Belligerent Skies because I always enchant my offhand with one of those damage types. And I would be wearing, of course, the gloves of Dex. And I would be wearing... Wow. The list never ends. Let me just see what I have in here. And it's in my extra inventory. It's not even that bad, but... It's awful how many good gloves there are in this game. I'm going to pick up a corpse, and I just hope that the Mind Flayer takes it. But like I know from the name, this is not a tiefling. But they kill tieflings, right? They kill some refugees. yeah, here are the tieflings. I think this is what the Mind Flayer wants. The Hellrider Pride, or this one? Which one of these? These one? This one? Yeah. This is I think I actually did like a YouTube short on a video of this, how to get this item. But what you do is okay, so what you do with this is that this is an item from Sevlor. This is a reward, and I only know of 2 ways that you can get this. Maybe you can also get this in the Illithid Mind Flayer colony if you choose to free Sevlor and then either loot him or kill him or whatever down there. But what the Hellrider's Pride, how you get this is once you take care of the Korga situation, once you expose her and either kill her or kill the... Oh, that's the one you want to know about. This is from the Crash from Act from the this is from this item you get from the Walker's room. So inside of the Walker's room, there are a couple of red containers spread around the room, and one of these containers has the gloves of the belligerent skies in them. It's the reason why you would miss out on these guys. These are very good. But like the reason why you would miss out on them is because you, when you go into the room where Walkers is with all of his friends, you need to make a sharp left, and then there is a container, one of those cylinders, one of the, oh, I forget the English names, but one of the Githyanki chests, if you could say, that are spread all across the crash is just to the left. And the way that you can actually get these without fighting the walkers is that you go very close to that container, that chest, you hide, succeed the hiding check, and then you loot the container, and then you leave the room if that's what you want, if you don't want to fight war walkers. That, at least that's how I do it. And I guess for a rogue, in your case, that's going to be like an absolute freebie if you want those. Probably you don't want them. I don't know exactly what your setup is going to be with your build, but for me they're pretty nice in specific situations at least. But they are always bested by the Gloves of Dex for me. The Gloves of Dex are just so good for me. Absolute best in slot for most of the game. Yeah. Yeah, the best thing about this game is when you find a new item that you haven't used before. Yeah. But it's also because some of those piles, like the piles of treasure that's in the walker's room in the crash, are always empty. So you can, most of the stuff that's spread across in the room where you fight walkers is just empty. So it's pretty easy to just dismiss the whole thing and just, you know, there's a little chest by walkers, which has something valuable. I think the Ring of Arcane Synergy hidden in them, and there's a and of course one of the walkers' henchmen has an extremely good circlet that, I mean, it's so good that you want it. But outside of that, I mean, it's pretty easy to just dismiss. Like, yeah, there are the Skin Burster and other game-breaking items in there, of course. So, anywho, let's move on with the game.
You have returned. Yes.
And then Wyll reaches into his backpack and picks up the tiefling corpse. Oh wait, I just need to find it in my backpack. There you go.
You feel its presence gently probing.
Now leave.
Now leave me. He will feed alone. And now he's Is he feeding? Now he's feeding, but where is the corpse? Oh, he actually gives me a ring. Advantage on insight checks. And the funny thing about this is that most of the time you need to know where the insight checks are, because sometimes they're just passive checks that the game will do for you, and you need to know when you're going to wander into an insight check. And then the insights check from this point of the game are not necessary. They're not valuable. Like, a couple of insight checks may be slightly valuable, but none of them will prevent you from going through the game. So that's a little bit ridiculous. Okay, we're not going to go and expose Arthur any further inside of the barn. We're just going to go and talk to the robots. Yeah. So kill the Mind Flayer, get the ring, help the Mind Flayer, get the ring, and either way the ring is worthless, basically. Right, so the gloves of dexterity, these gloves are, and I like to talk about these gloves. I think it's an error that the attack bonus on these gloves actually apply to the Eldritch Blast, but they do. So any kind of attack spell that you want to run, these gloves will help you, which is why I like to run, and this is like no respecs, I like to run a Wyll at a 12 dex. I don't like to lower that any further because this is already crazy in Act 1. But the second that you get the gloves of dex, that problem disappears. I can now enjoy a high constitution stat, a high wisdom stat, which I like to have, and a high charisma stat. And you get the full value of an 18 dex, which is absolutely bonkers. And because I'm not wearing any medium armor, any kind of armor class is just fantastic for me. So I don't see any reason to not use the gloves of dex. Let's go in and see. I think the gnomes are going to come here. We're just going to beeline through this dialogue.
Your peaceful.
Eat this, you pile of
Because
junk.
then now Nimble shows up. Boink. Blindness, and then we move in. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's just running away blind. And then we get the waypoint, and this is what saving the Iron Hand gnomes is going to do for you. So the Iron Hand gnome that came nimble is one of the gnomes that you save, if I remember correctly, in the Grimforge, or it is one of the gnomes that is just in Baldur's Gate waiting for you. Alright, so now the confusion begins. We need to do a number of things in this place. And I am probably going to be doing the quests here. So we're going to be entering this room. I just need to check.
Word to the wise. They wouldn't let. So let me show you.
Oh, she trades you things. Wonderful. Yeah, the imprisonment is funny. Like I have to be honest right there. I'm not too happy about getting imprisoned here. So many bad memories, and like you can get the imprisonment and you can get out of the prison fairly easy, and everything is dandy. But I am just going to go fair play and have the Iron Hand Nose take the blame for everything. Let's talk to the vampires.
One more mark, then we can go.
Because I am a little bit undecided. Oh, that was a miss. Never mind.
You should come.
Yeah, let's just say I'm not too interested in you guys. And then head down. It's not that I dislike prison minigames, but in this case I think I'm just going to pass. Right, so we're going to talk to the brothel keeper here, or whatever her title is, and she's going to give me a quest.
2 flights up, then I'm listening. You'll need coin.
To find Theon, which we're going to try to see if we can't do, but there is a chance it will go wrong. And Corella is having a drink. No, Do I need companions?
Indeed. Take your... Go.
I don't have any of the companions. If you're thinking about Astarion, so none of those.
Hang on a sec.
I do have Halcyon is hanging out. We removed the Shadow Curse, so that's a thing. And then Jaheira is there because, yeah, I explained that in the beginning, but I accidentally stepped onto a trap in my Wyll run. In this area in Rivington, I stepped onto a trap that instantaneously killed me, and I had to restart the run, trying to retrace my steps. And so that had a couple of small implications. One of them being that Jaheira actually survives the attack on Moonrise Towers. This is not happening. I think this is a check where insight matters. I think this is the check where insight matters. When you go through this dialogue with the nymph here, what happens is that she's going to give you a buff called Rapture, which is, I think, pretty similar to the Bliss Spores, which I am going to enjoy once I get to the final encounters. So I'm just going to mark this real quick, and I'm pretty certain that I can use my insight ring in that particular, because you need to understand what's going on, and then you interact with the dialogue, and then you get an option to get her to give you the Rapture. So I really hope that I remember this, but I'm pretty certain that you need to pass the insight check there, and that justifies the existence of the ring. Let's just see. Oh, I just basically got the ring for everything. I think this is the place. Here is the journal. Right, so there's the update. We found the journal in the pleasure room. Flop house. Yeah. So we have to go to the flop house, and then I have to do a perception check to find her body under a bed. Basically. Yeah, so the inside check for the Rapture is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Oh, we can try it again with the disguise.
I'm
okay,
glad
For the first time.
You have the Orphic. Surely you realize.
I'm just going to go through the motions with Raphael here.
With the crown.
I don't care about the endings, so I'm just going to promise him everything.
His ambition is
You
Basically sign the contract
being
and get a lot of XP for that. And then I think we're going to head into the flop house.
And what? What were the terms of this? Tell me. You turn it. But that... No.
Right. So let me just check if this is the place. Yeah, I need to go through the wardrobe here. So you can access this place in a number of ways, but the placement is right here on top of the flop house. There's a hidden room, so you head into, and the flowery key is from one of the corpses in the below Rivington in one of the doppelgangers. So let me just, before I accidentally trigger the check, let me just maximize my chances getting the perception check right. I think I have all of the relevant stuff and I have advantage, and I'm going to go to the bed, and successful. There we go. But this is something you have to know. There's blood. Interact with the blood, and we have to do an investigation check. That means I should have been using my intelligence crown.
Notice the blood source.
Pull out the body. There we go.
Friend, we are here for
Yes, thank you. And so, Fion's key. And I actually don't know what that key opens. But this concludes the investigation, and we can read this bloodstained parchment, because everybody knows that any good serial killer leaves proof of whatever's going to happen, and of course a plan of what is going to happen in terms of the killings behind, because that is very meaningful. So thank you very much for that. And then we could in principle access the second. I'm just looting these out of pure habit. Selling them is going to give me a fortune, so there's that. So I'm going to go and talk to the flying elephant now.
I presume you've found something interesting to discuss. Well, that's what you need if you want to change. Fine. Constable Dever. Oh.
Right, and now he just believes me. Found a list of murder targets. And then we get XP, and then return to her. So I'm going to talk to the brothel leader here. She's been murdered. And you care about money.
anything else on your mind?
And a bit of XP for that as well. Lower city pass. So now I think I have 2 of those. And I think that pretty much concludes. No, wait, there's one more thing I have to do in this zone. I think this is just down here, right? Or maybe not. Maybe this is just a vendor. All of this stuff is incredibly confusing. Where are we now? Down here. There's a fight right down here that we want to do. First, level up. The Missing Arcanum has loads of interesting things, but like it's long rest base, and you have to think about what value can you get from Circle of Death. Like from as a main action for Wyll, it's not going to be worth it at this point, because I know what the game has in store for me. Arcane Gate is kind of interesting. You can use this in like very hard fights, where I imagine being able to teleport perhaps even minions between 2 portals could be interesting. Eyebite, if you can guarantee that your spells lands, could be interesting. But then again, not really. Flesh to Stone. Well, I always end up using the Creator Undead, because that's just, it gives me a mummy, and the mummy is like, the mummy basically destroys Orin 101. Like the special skill that the mummy has disables Orin, actually. So having this is a no-brainer. This is like, if I was playing without summons, I would be talking about the other spells, but I am playing with summons, and the mummy is completely OP. And then I was thinking about command, like command, upcast command could be fun. I don't need any of the spells, like the hex spell is good, but I will be concentrating on other things. So maybe not really. Like the flight spell is of course worthless. I have the fear spells, also concentration based. The fire shield could be precast. is that really the best spell here? The whole monster, anything that involves some kind of save from a monster or a boss is just not good enough in this game. If you don't spike the DC with some acuity. Probably I'm just taking the fire shield. And because with the before a fight, I can short rest twice. So let's imagine a fight where I use my first 2 spell slots on the Armor of Agathis and on summoning an elemental. Then I do a short rest. And after that short rest, I precast mirror images and I precast the fire shield. Then we're down 2 spell slots again. Then I short rest. And then oh right, I forget, like at level 11 you get like a 3rd spell slot. So I'm just going to accept. Yeah, so now I get the 3rd spell slot. So like with the amount of spell slots and stuff I can do, maybe it's getting to an uneven number, because then I can precast mirror image 10 turns and fire shield 10 turns. That leaves me with 1. And then is this a spell slot? No, it's not a spell slot. Regardless, like at this point I don't need to change anything about the way that I play the game. I just need to finish it. Let's head down and do the quest down here. So I don't want to be flying down there. I think I want to be... I need a body. I need a body to summon the skellies. I forget if I can actually just access the... There's a hatch down here, which is the problem. So I forget if one of these guys actually has a valuable item. I think this guy only sells... Yeah, he only sells consumables and herbs. But there's another guy downstairs. I'm just going to check the inventory of. I think it's one of the vendors that potentially has something that I could want. Let's just go in there. And if it's not here, then it's somewhere else. I think it is Danthalion.
How may I be of service?
The Cloak of Displacement. There it is. Probably I just want to purchase this straight up. I think this, as far as I know, this is just like a flat improvement to the Cloak of Protection. So what this cloak does is that it basically gives me like the blur spell. So it lasts, and I think it lasts until I take damage, but then I think it just reappears next time I get my turn. So during combat, that's effectively going to recast blur every turn that I get. So even if I am losing 1 saving throw, it's a hard sell. I think this is best in slot for everybody. Let's see if I can't manage to... Where is the... It's back here, right? No? There it is. It's right here. So I forget what the most effective way... Oh, I can go the other way around. I love this. I love it. Like, I'm just worried, like, with this pathing, that at some point you're going to fall into a wall or something bad is going to happen. But we can just enter the room from this without angering the owners. And then we're going to head downstairs. And I believe if I just go up and down, I can get my coterie with me. Maybe even... This is unnecessary. But let's go. I do want my coterie down here because the doppelgangers can be a little bit shifty. Let's go down here. And then we go and we have that dialogue. I don't need to do anything else. What kind of damage do these guys do? I believe it to be piercing, which I'm already resistant to. So I think I'm just ready to go in. I want to test the theory though. So if let's say, I already have my Armor of the Agathis on. So if I precast this, and I precast, don't know which is the best, just going to precast the cold version. So that's 2 spell slots. Then I have 1 more spell slot that I can use. How do I even want to use that? Like, I'm lacking an extra buff ability that I can apply here. It's not really helpful in any way. I basically have a worthless spell slot at this point. Right. Oh, I don't have any. Don't have any short rests. Alright, we talk to this guy. There's an inside check here, which is not really relevant. We're surprised. Fight commences. Things happen. I don't know if there's anything to be worried about in this fight, honestly. Oh, you surprised them by attacking them. Yeah, that should probably be my modus of operation here. Okay, so who does Wyll want to kill first? This one? Oh, not really. I like it how there's a robot right out here, Stillwatcher. Nobody cares what's going on in this city at all. It's just one big shit show.
No time to waste.
Black hole is just too strong. See, right now the displacement is working, so for them to hit me, they would have to roll, I have no idea, 220s, I'm guessing. I'm not even wearing critical strike immunity at this time. But like all of these encounters, this one is, I mean, the doppelgangers are, I would probably compare them a little bit to like the Grimforged dwarves, in that they're not particularly strong, they don't hurt a lot, but they are super annoying to fight. And probably the doppelgangers were just quickly placed in Act 3 without too much thought into what their role was. Like, how are they going to be dangerous? How is this going to be an interesting encounter? Because it's like they're one-trick ponies. They turn into doppelgangers and they get the ambush, and then that's it. And they don't deal that much damage. It's just very confusing to me. It feels like it hasn't been play tested. And that sounds a little rough, but that's what I feel.
they were the ones hunting it. I just...
We move on, and he talks, I think, a little bit about the Stone Lord, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think there's anything on these guys. It's a letter, but does it say kill order? Kill the crone. I forget who the crone is, but I'm assuming that it's Jaheira or something. Let's get out of here. Right. And I think the stream will end in approximately 15 minutes or something. I need to go on with the day, but I just want to see if I missed anything and maybe finish up Rivington here. I'm not even sure there's anything left for me to do. Talk to everybody. I can go and now interact with the trap down here. I don't want to, but I feel like I have to. So before I head down there, I'm going to make sure of a couple of things. I'm going to make sure that I'm wearing the lightning resistant ring, the sparks wall here, the sparks wall that is going to halve the damage. Is it also going to do anything else? Just resistance to lightning damage. And nobody's coming to repair this guy. He's just like permanently disabled. All right. And then obviously more resistance for the cloak here. And we already have the value of the bless spell, so from the stone features. So we cannot increase that any further. So anything else I can do to increase my resistances? The Absolute's Warboard. It's a dex save, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10. So I plan to bring I don't know. This is like stupid. This goes wrong and I die again. I'm going to be extremely sad. So, and I believe that you can actually... Oh, wait. You can fly through this stuff. Yeah, you can fly through this. And then let's see what happens when my... This is a fire explosion. Okay, check. Okay, so attacking the Dying Stone Lord Thug gives XP. Awesome. Let's celebrate by summoning the mummy. Right. So here's the thing. So I'm just going to leave my coterie behind. Just for a quick bit here. And then recast this spell there. Now I have a total of 116 hit points, and that should be enough to deal. I could also use the Fiendish Resilience to increase my resistance to lightning, but let's not overdo this. Right, so I head in here just a little bit. Here is a trap, and we're not getting any perception checks right here, so that means that the traps are further in. But I know there's a tripwire here, and there's a tripwire here. So basically, what I did was I went to this location. I cast Eldritch Blast on this tripwire. The tripwire is wet. but I cast Eldritch Blast of the Tripwire from this distance, and what happened was that a chain lightning hit me from, I think it was the statue up here, all the way down there, from attacking this. So and triggering our tripwire is going to cause one chain lightning, and then the statue is going to trigger an extra chain lightning. So basically that's 20 d8 dice of damage. So what I'm curious about, if I go here and hide, I don't have any kind of immunity mechanics that I could use. But like, if I go there and hide, and I make sure that nothing can chain. Make sure that nothing can chain. And then I send in the imp. So, what is going to happen here? What? Alright. That was the chain lightning. So, Shovel was hit for 22. Oh, that was the resistance, TD8, 10d8 on a pretty low roll, and then an additional, the eagle statue then shoots another chain lightning. So that's 20d8 points of damage that Shovel resisted both, but still died, of course. Okay, then we're going to send in us. And this is basically me sciencing this out for myself. I was so frustrated when this happened. Okay, so nothing else.
Never onward.
Famous last words. I don't think there's anything else here. There's a perception check fail. And I don't know if flying past this is going to make a difference. This run is already a success. I've gone past the predecessor. Alright, let's head in here and get a bit of thug action. I don't have any spell slots, but I think I'll be fine. And I think we're going to ally with...
You! Help me kill these asses. The guild will sprinkle you with gold.
You pick...
We're just going to pick sides here. I think it makes much of a difference. The whole guild stuff is not too interesting. So we have two warring factions. The green guys are part of the guild, which is the leading thieves guild in Baldur's Gate. And for whatever logical reason, these guys are the good guys. And then we have another set of guys who's under the influence of, I think it's Ball, if I'm not mistaken, who has all of the doppelgangers working for him with Orin as well, and they're fighting each other. And this is where we can find Minsk, who can be a playable companion, which I don't care about. We're getting the Hunter's Mark. And now look at these guys, like... Look at these guys. Okay, that was a bad start. Like, bags of hit points, but like absolutely no damage here. I don't even need to worry about any kind of haste, I think. It's a little bit, we're back to the Dwegar. You know, lots of hit points, no damage, no dangerous mechanics, just a lot of time. Yeah. So the Dreadful Glare has, for whatever reason, a very high chance to succeed on Orin. It just works, and I cannot explain why. But not on the thugs. But right down here, and this is what I forgot to mention, is right down here I do have the final contestant for the glove, for the boot slot for Wyll. It's actually a pair of boots down here that I am actually considering for the end game. So I am going to go and loot those. Let's get... Wow. The guild guys are not faring very well. We didn't lose the envoy just yet, but I'm pretty certain she's going to die. But even if they die, as far as I know, your reputation is still going to travel ahead of you. I mean, it's still going to be rumored that you helped against the Stone Lord. I'm going to haste now. Because why not?
Watch and learn. 2 steps at a time.
And I forget what the mummy rod does, but it's pretty nasty if I remember correctly. Cannot be healed. Yeah, you basically have a summon that disables healing from whatever target you're fighting. Like, I'm assuming that the mummy rod is also going to apply, be applying anti-healing on Raphael, for instance. Like, how crazy does it have to get? But he can use his fire spells on the mummy quickly, but if he doesn't, that can be pretty bad for him. Probably there's a very low DC for that to work, but the mummy has not disappointed me yet. There goes the envoy. Wow, that was a lot of movement. I forget if these guys do anything at all, like in terms of paralyze or something. I'm assuming that they don't, but... Right, let's just quickly see the Rotting Fists. So there's a save there. It's a DC 13. And it's a wisdom save. Yeah, probably this is not happening against a big boss, I'm assuming. But like, if it does... Oh well. I'm just wondering if I, in principle, could kill her as well. Like, what is the... Why not? Let's kill. Everybody died. Yeah, okay. This is like a catastrophe that I didn't actually record, or I forgot to save or something else. I had a maybe it is in the VOD backlog on Twitch somewhere, but I had a fight versus Orin with Wyll that that went sideways because this is half a year ago. It's ridiculous, like a very long time ago. Where the fight went sideways because I didn't in fact know that I had to hit her in order to disable the Baal's edict. So my run just ended because I was instantaneously killed. But what I did learn, because I decided to reload that and continue dishonorably in terms of trying the fight out and trying to understand what happened, because it's ridiculous to play for that many hours and dying to Orin and not knowing why you died, or well, not getting the fight under your fingernails. But when I retried the battle, what I discovered was that the mummy, and this is just particular for this, has an ability called the Dreadful Glare. The Dreadful Glare basically just frightens your target. It has a wisdom save, and I forget what the DC of the Dreadful Glare is, but it's, for whatever reason, it works wonders on Orin. And so during the fight, she just stands still, she cannot move, and she's frightened. And that just disables her. So I think at least 2 turns in a row, I had the mummy just frighten Orin. Like, well, 2 turns, rather 4 turns, obviously, because it's 2 turns times 2. But like the Dreadful Glare just disabled Orin. She just stood still for like most of the fight. It's stupid because like you would expect that everybody else gets scared of Orin, but in this case she just gets scared of a mummy. So it's very odd. She should be immune to frighten. Doesn't make any sense that she can be frightened, in my opinion. Even if it is a very, 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 very difficult battle for a lot of classes. Still makes no sense. Yeah, I know that there are many abuses. Like it's a real shit show once you get to work on that encounter. There we go. Bone spike boots. Okay. So I know that the character right now has the fly spell, the flying, and I forget if this, I don't think this works with the flight, but the brutal leap ability, in my opinion, potentially turns your offhand action into something really valuable. So, apart from the brutal leap, obviously, these boots have another bonus, because they add armor class and saving throw while not wearing armor or holding a shield. And right now that's not going to help me because I have a shield. But the idea is that at level 12 I'm going to get the dual wielded feet, which is going to, of course, lose me the shield, but give me extra armor, and then equipping these boots is going to make up for that. So it's basically like an upgraded version of the evasive shoes, which I'll then send to camp. So this is my late game suggestion. And yeah. So these boots have some intrinsically absurd consequences for a very specific set of characters. If you play like an Eagle Barbarian, like Critique just suggested, that's going to be ridiculous. By all measures of the word, but like even Wyll is going to be benefiting from this in particular situations. So this will be my endgame boots once we get there. But I am still using the boots of Stormy Clamor at the moment because the reverberation is a lot of fun. I don't want to explore more of this, and I think I need to get to prepare to end the stream for now, and then prepare for the rest of the day, and then continue with... There is a black... Why is there a black set of... What didn't I do? There are 2 black areas here. It's like a mistake? Is this just because it's a question of level? Of what level you're currently on? I think that's the case. Let's see. All of this stuff is awfully weird to be spending time on when the brain is en route to destroy Baldur's Gate. It is what it is. Is there there's a house here? I forget what this is. I'm just going to check this before the coronation.
Let's chew the fat.
Hi, stranger. Sounds good. Get you
Oh.
something a bit fresher than your current outfit.
It's this kind of shop. Always a good shop when the first thing the shopkeeper does is compliment your outfit. Let's give her a lot of money. Right. I wish that more things could be colored. Like, why can't you color your shield? Why can't you color your Look at this. This is majestic. Let's go. Right, so this was like a no value, basically. Upstairs, nothing. Nothing. Yeah, the shield and the bows, and like, why can't you do more customization? I have no idea what the problem is. Okay, so let's just see. I'm assuming that we can go in.
Sorry, chum, can't let you through.
Let's just do
closed for the day.
What? I was just assuming that the warlock check would be easy.
Don't know what he needs you for when he's got
It was a difficult. The DC for the check to get through was a DC 30. Like 30 is a pretty high number to hit.
You want the last door on your right.
There's a charisma warlock check for 30 at DC 30. And no advantage. It's like, how? Yeah. And then I had like a plus 20 or something to my roll, but still. Right.
Halt.
The what?
I welcome you to Alarm.
Oh wait, did I just fight? What did I do? Did I say the wrong thing?
Greetings, citizen.
Did I? What did I do? I click. I clicked the dialogue option here. So the last time I was here, something very interesting happened, and
If it isn't little Wyll.
let's just yes, Sora.
Go on up.
Yes. So, on my last run with Wyll to Baldur's Gate, what happened was that I tried to bypass Wormrest Rock by flying around it, which caused a lot of the Steel Watchers to instantaneously aggro me while I was on top of the Wormrest Keep. And Wormrest Fortress rather. But so that's another problem on its own. But the problem was that the throne room, and I didn't engage in any of the coronation business. So the throne room itself also aggroed, which causes that fight, that lasts for 5 to 10 hours, where all of the NPCs are running around, you know, taking turns. And but I escaped. I went away and I kind of bypassed the whole thing and moved on. What that does is that and I'm 90% sure this is what happened. That kills Wyll's father. It simply kills Wyll's father. So, and I didn't know about this because I didn't get any quest updates for this event. So I went to the Iron Throne to free Wyll's father. And I get down there and I run around in the Iron Throne. And when I get to Wyll's father, he's just dead. And then I get a quest update at that point. And he's in the cell dead. Like he was killed in the cell. I've never seen this before. It gave Wyll a specific debuff called grieving. And I need to look it up. Because it's one of the most stupid thing that you're ever going to see in this game. If I can even find it. Right now, I'm unable to find it. Right, so that's probably what happened. So, interacting with Mizora like I just did is going to prevent his death. However, the grieving debuff, and this is just on the top of my head because I don't want to research it anymore. It's not listed with the things that I remember it being listed with. The grieving debuff on Wyll basically gives him advantage on attack rolls, and then a completely ridiculous disadvantage of some sort. I don't remember what that was, but advantage on attack rolls for free. So it's really not in your best interest to save Wyll's father if that's the case. But I am going to attempt it because it's part of Wyll's companion storyline or whatever you want to call it. So I am going to attempt to save his father, of course. And right now I'm just curious to know. Oh, isn't this? There's a mini quest here, right? Somebody stealing like sausages or something.
You're not a fist. Go on, get out. Or I'll wake the others.
Yeah, he's stealing. He is stealing.
I'm no thief. I was going to pay it back.
Give me money.
Of course you are. My stash is up on the roof. It's over.
All right, he's leaving. So the stash on the roof, like I don't know, 20 gold pieces. Let's just leave it. Let's go to the coronation. I think the waypoint is in here. I'll just do the coronation, I think. Real quick. This is the waypoint. Nope, there's money on the roof. I have no idea what that is about. Okay, let's just quickly head up. Right, and we'll talk to Gortash, and then I really need to go after this.
Stand down, villain. In the name of the Steel Watch, aggressive action will not be tolerated. The Steel Watch.
Dearest Patriarch, my friend, forgive the cold. Lord, I understand.
Next. Right. The grand design.
Gortash always
doesn't. She only cares for. I can't.
I'm just going to click through this, and the one mash. I think.
This alliance could serve us well, and if it does not,
then let it. Who?
Let it be so.
Is like a knife. Your resource. Next. Next. The faithful will do anything in the name. What comes next will be entirely the powerful connections. Soon. First, come and be with you.
And then this is very odd that you can father no. I've no idea what this option means. I'm a little bit worried. I don't want to fight everybody in the coronation. Grant ye consent.
My friends, and you.
I mean, it would be funny to get some kind of disadvantage from betraying your father at this point. Why don't I get some kind of disadvantage here?
My dearest boy, father and son, unstoppable generals.
Yes.
Together.
I don't want to start a fight in this place at this point.
She's been punished for her lies. Don't let her get. I stilled her tongue.
Yeah.
That's the sun rises, my boy. Why, Frey, and you, Gortash, and I will ignite the final spark.
Yes.
Kill and do not return.
Right. Okay, so I don't want to be spending any more time here. I don't need to. I'm just going to safely farm to level 12 and then proceed with the boss killing. And having Gortash for me as an ally, like it's a choice. Like you can kill Gortash. I don't even think that it is. Oh! Look at this. It's marked on the map. Thief Stash. Right. Let's at least give it an attempt. Thief Stash. Let's try to find it as a last. I think Misora should be here. She's not. Right. Instantaneously, the Duke disappeared. So the question is, it's on the roof. So if I attempt I'm not doing this. I am not doing this. So attempting to go on Wormrock at this point is not something I want to bother with. Probably it's doable and there'll be Steel Watchers and I can fight them and whatnot and gain XP. But like, I just want to live as they sing. Can't even seem to find. I need to do all kind of shenanigans to get that to work. Hello, Misora.
What you see?
Goodbye. Yeah, this is probably, in my opinion, yes, exactly. So probably, in my opinion, Carly, in terms of Act 3, it feels a lot like the game is not finished. All of the progression that you can do, you can almost like do without even going to Act 3, right? You can get to level 11 if you really milk out all of the XP from the prior acts. But at this point in Act 3, you can go. The rats, I think, don't give a lot of XP, but a lot of random encounters just provide you with like thousands of XP for no reason. So it just feels like the progression could continue, but it doesn't. And I didn't play any of the mods that actually deal with progression increase. Alright, so I am going to end the stream here. I think I have to, and we'll continue the whole shebang at a different time. I don't know if there's anybody who I could potentially raid out to, so I don't think I will. I'll just say thanks a lot for partaking, and thanks for the comments, and thank you for all of the interaction. As always, it's much appreciated. And I hope to see you some other time, or I will see you in your own stream, Callie. Anybody else watching? Thank you.